What is good, YouTube, man? I'm back today with another video for y'all, man. Hey, guess what? Today I'm on the topic of offense, man. We're switching to the opposite side of the ball, but really quick, I want to give y'all another shout out for all the support on last video. I can't stress it enough, man. This channel is growing a ton. And really quick, another shout out for Icy Nate. He actually did today's thumbnail, so it's not just me in the background with like, it's just not this, you know. There's an actual thumbnail today. He did the graphics on it. So if y'all ever need that a thumbnail done for you guys, go hit him up. His Instagram page is gonna be in the description. But without further ado, man, let's get into it today. So in today's video, like I said, we're gonna be talking about the offensive side of the ball. Now, me and many, I'm gonna say you guys too, we weren't expecting us to be so active in free agency in terms of the offensive side of the ball. Now, we've added two pretty, solid signings to the offensive side of the ball. As we all know, we had to replace Nelson Agholor. He went to the New England Patriots, got paid $13 million a year. Guess what? I had him as a 7.5 to maybe 9 million max kind of year player, but guess what? He got his bag for New England. Shout out to him, man. Derek Carr made you rich, man. Shout out to Nelson Agholor. He is once a Raider, always a Raider, man. It applies to him. But now he's in New England, so guess what? We needed someone to replace him. And guess what? We got a more proven, more knowledgeable, and he's also a veteran player, just like Nelson Agholor, and has also played on the big stage. He hasn't played in a Super Bowl, but he's played in AFC Championships games. He's played in playoff games, and he knows what it takes to get to that place that we're trying to go. Now, we had to replace Nelly. We got, in my opinion, a better proven option than Nelson Agholor with John Brown. He's had two 1,000-yard receiving years, and to be honest, it was in recent years as well. Without Stephon Diggs on his team, he was the #1 receiver on his team, and he played like it. He had 1,060 yards with 6 touchdowns that year. Also, before his injury this year, he was on pace to have another 1,000-yard season. I believe he had over 460 total yards, 460 receiving yards this year, and a handful of TDs. He had a TD against us earlier on the season when we played the Bills. But yeah, man, let's talk about this offense. We also added explosive, dynamic, quick, fast, however you want to call him, Kenyon Drake, right? And I understand, just really quick, I understand that some people may be skeptical about the Kenyon Drake signing because it can go up to a $14 million deal with incentives, and if you guys don't know the real details of the contract, he's actually only getting $3.5 million this year. So he's not taking a lot of money from us this year at all. Next year is when he'll be getting $8 million, but by then the cap will be up to normal, so it won't be that huge of a hit to us. Now, it's truly only an $11 million deal that has the incentives for $14 million. In my opinion, those incentives may probably not be like only rushing yard incentives. I think that they're probably close to maybe a Pro Bowl type of incentive, or maybe even total all-purpose yards incentives. We don't know, and we won't know until the season starts, I believe, or until training camp starts. But yeah, so those were the two guys that we brought in for the offensive side of the ball, and honestly, I like them both. I would give the John Brown signing a B+, and I would give the Kenyon Drake signing an A-. I like it a lot. Now, let's talk about the offense, right? So the reason why, you see it in the title, you see it in the thumbnail, I chose to say that Gruden gets his dynamic offense, right? I really think that with Gruden, since he's that old style coach, he's trying to match what the Chiefs got going on in the other side of the division, but instead of doing it like the Chiefs with receivers, we're doing it with running backs, right? That's what I believe we're going to be doing. Now, you get a guy like John Brown, who comes from the Buffalo system, also played with the Ravens and the Cardinals before, but you look at what he did, right? He was used a lot, yes, going deep, yes, he's a good route runner, but what he also did was jet sweeps a lot with the Bills, with those other teams. Nelson Agholor didn't do that. He never did that with other teams, and John Brown has. We tried to do it with Ruggs, and Ruggs will do that a lot this year as well, 100%. So with that being said, I really like the fact that this year I'm really thinking that we're gonna have a lot of two back sets this year with either left side of Derek Carr is Kenyon Drake, right side is Jacobs, or you could switch it however you want to line it up, right? But I do think that this year we're gonna see a lot of Jacobs and Drake in the backfield together. We'll also see Ruggs on the field with Waller. We're also gonna see either I would really like to see Ruggs, Edwards, and Waller as our in that formation with the dual running back set out all there together. I would love to see that because that's a lot for the defense to handle. Now, why I think that I'm saying that we're doing it with running backs instead of receivers with the Chiefs is that you see the Chiefs, they run a lot of sweeps, but with their receivers, right? They only really started implementing their running back a lot this year because of Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They also got Le'Veon Bell, but I think that this year, with the couple shots taken to our offensive line, we're going to have to do some of those misdirection, trickery plays a lot more because, let's be honest, DC won't have all the time that he had last year. So, with that being said, I think that we'll see a lot of Kenyon Drake, Josh Jacobs, and then I think that we'll see a lot of Ruggs coming in on sweeps, John Brown coming in on sweeps, a lot of plays like that. One of the main plays that I think we'll probably run would be a fake handoff to Jacobs, have Kenyon Drake running behind Derek Carr. You can either throw that screen pass with your two wide receivers and Waller and Edwards on one side blocking for Drake on a screen pass. That would be crazy. Or you can do two things. You can have Ruggs on a side with Waller, and you can have Ruggs in motion to the left side. Then you fake the handoff with Jacobs, fake turn around, act like if you were just going to throw that screen to Kenyon Drake. But really, as Ruggs comes in on the jet sweep, you can just toss it to him, misdirection. It's kind of a crazy play, but you see it a good amount this year, and it's not a play that needs a lot of time because you're gonna have Ruggs, who is crazy quick. You're gonna have Kenyon Drake, who's gonna have to make the defense play respectful to that screen. You're also gonna have Jacobs that's gonna have the linebackers having to pull in case that you do just hand the ball off to Jacobs. And in that case that you do, you have Ruggs in motion as well to go and block. So I like this a lot, and the reason why I think that we brought in John Brown is because, let's say you have a lot of depth already with Ruggs and John Brown and Edwards and Waller, is that the fact that you can do it with multiple guys, right? We don't want to become one-dimensional with when we see Ruggs going in the motion like we did last year. We know that it's either just going to be a handoff to Jacobs or a handoff to Ruggs with the jet sweep, right? So I think this year what we did with bringing in John Brown is that also we can run the same thing when John Brown's in the game. So that's what makes our offense so much more dynamic and so much more explosive in a way, because you're going to have, when Ruggs is out getting a breather, you're not going to have a drop-off with Ruggs and John Brown. You're going to have John Brown go in there, do the same jet sweep because that's what he did in previous years with other teams, and you're still going to be able to run those same fake screens, those screens. You can do a ton. You can also run the Wildcat with Kenyon Drake. I remember hearing this first from Raider Honcho. He explained that really well. You can instead of having Mariota in to run the Wildcat, although I would love to have Mariota come in and run the read option inside the 10. I would love for Mariota to do that, but instead of only having to do that inside the 10, what if you just run the Wildcat formation with having Kenyon Drake or Josh Jacobs taking a direct snap from Andre James, and like that they can read the defense, whether the opposite side DN crashes, hand it off to Drake or Josh, and then if whoever's just taking the direct snap will just read the defense. Obviously you wouldn't have a pass play with Drake or with Kenyon Drake or Josh Jacobs out there, and if you did, that would be crazy. I would love to see that, but like I said, man, this offense is so dynamic. Now, what does that do? You have the offense needing to be respectful to the screen because we now have Kenyon Drake, who you have to respect that. You have to respect the screen game to Kenyon Drake. You also have to respect the run to Josh Jacobs, and you also have to respect the sweep to Ruggs or John Brown. What does that do? It leaves up, in case Bryan Edwards is out there by himself, you have Bryan Edwards one-on-one, or you have Darren Waller running a shallow route, or you can have him running a complete cross-the-field route that'll bring some safeties down into attention to him. And guess what? If you have Ruggs taking the sweep, Waller running a intermediate route that brings the safety down, you can have John Brown on the other side going deep, and you have Waller completely assisting to John Brown and scoring touchdowns deep, man. This offense is so dynamic now. We also have Mariota for this year as well, 100%. So like I said, we can do this inside of the 10 with Mariota to run the read option. Imagine having the read option ran by Mariota. Imagine inside the 10, you have a read option ran with Mariota, Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, and then you have Ruggs in motion, Waller out there, and either Edwards out there as well. That could be crazy effective, man. I would love to see that. This is why I'm saying that I feel like John Gruden is trying to do the same thing. He's trying to match the Chiefs, but instead with doing it with wide receivers like Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, they had Sammy Watkins. He's trying to do it with running backs. He's trying to do it with our threats. Now, does that mean that maybe a guy like Alec Ingold might lose a bit of production and snaps? I'd say no, because our offense is still going to be smash mouth football. We're going to go out in the power I, try and run it down the middle, run it through your gut. But now we just have those options. I really think that we're going to see a lot of dual back sets, and with Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake out there, man, it will be huge. Also, with those read options like that, it doesn't make the offensive linemen have to hold their blocks for so long. Since you're having a speedster and Ruggs just take the ball and run, you don't have to have a block for 3 seconds. You don't have to hold the block for 3 seconds. Now, when you're running the zone read with Josh Jacobs and having the screen behind him with Kenyon Drake, you have the linebackers having to take a step back and really respect that screen, so that will also leave a hole for Josh Jacobs. This offense with Kenyon Drake, John Brown, Henry Ruggs, Darren Waller, Bryan Edwards, the slot machine, Renfro, Willie Snead is also going to be a part of it. He is a great run blocking receiver. Our offense just got completely more dynamic, and I know that the offensive line might be worrying for some, but honestly, in my opinion, you hear what Tom Cable has to say about Brandon Parker and Andre James. He spoke specifically about Brandon Parker the other day, saying that he deserves the chance and deserves a role to start, and he will give it to him. He will give him that chance to earn his position this year. It tells me a lot. It tells me that he said that Brandon Parker has gotten better in every single game, every single snap of every single game. I love that when Tom Cable, a offensive line guru, is talking that well and that highly of our guys. I really love that a lot. I think that our offense will not have a drop-off at all this year. I think that our offense will be more dynamic, more explosive, and I just think that we'll just overall be a better team. This defense is going to take our team over the hump, in my opinion, but our offense is just going to be able to score in much quicker fashion now. You have your home run hitter in Kenyon Drake. He will just make one man miss and then he'll be out. You have John Brown and Henry Ruggs that will take the top off, scoring you in one play. You have Waller, who can do the same thing, who is a great possession tight end, who is a great deep threat tight end, who's a great run routing tight end, a great run blocking tight end. Our offense is completely, it's with just one signing of Kenyon Drake and John Brown, it makes this offense much more elite than what we all think. This offensive line won't have to play so big of a role anymore because their blocks won't have to be held for so long. Now, in our normal, typical run game out of the power I with Alec Ingold and Josh Jacobs, when we're trying to play smash mouth football, yes, it might take a bit of a hit. But I honestly don't think that if our line our line will take that big of a hit if this is going to be the same line that plays with each other throughout preseason, throughout training camp, and then into the season. I think that that's one of the biggest things with offensive line. You need to play together as a unit for as much as possible. Obviously, injuries happen, but if you can keep a group together, that offensive line is just going to play better collectively. Now, like I said, this offense, the more and more I think about it, it just excites me. It excites me a lot because I know how much potential this team has to win games, to take the top off, to do everything with this offense, man. And having a guy like Derek Carr going into his 4th year with this system, he knows the ins and outs. He calls new checks at the line of scrimmage, audibles all the time. This offense will flourish, man. John Gruden, hopefully, he plays to the strengths of John Brown, Henry Ruggs, Darren Waller, Kenyon Drake, Josh Jacobs. Man, our team is I couldn't be more excited. Our team is looking nice, man. On offense, this team, this roster is looking incredible. I can't wait. I really can't wait. Also, Kenyon Drake has the availability of going out wide, which is something that we didn't do much with Josh Jacobs. Bro, I like this a lot. I love this. Man, this is one of the best off seasons for the offensive side of the ball to really complete what we all thought we needed. Now in the draft, we just need to address a couple of needs on defense, and I think this team becomes an immediate playoff team with a couple of acquisitions in the draft, man. But that'll be it for today, Raider Nation. Let me know what you guys think about this video today. Let me know if I'm crazy. Did you think that this Kenyon Drake signing was bad? The Willie Snead signing was bad? The John Brown signing was bad? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like, comment, and subscribe if you can. But I'm out. Peace.